My journey from the back streets of Tel Aviv to the lofty heights of Beverly Hills has been filled with diversions. At every point, I had to make a decision about which fork in the road to take. Which one would lead me in the right direction? It's always been my way of life to do the right thing. But sometimes you don't realize you've done the right thing until long after you've done it. And sometimes you don't realize how life-changing a single event was. When I was 16, I opened the first of my 3 restaurants in Los Angeles. The third restaurant I opened was a burger joint at the corner of 7th Street and South Los Angeles Street. Today, it's a street corner like hundreds of others in Los Angeles, bustling with small businesses and reflecting the hopes and dreams of people like me who are searching for their own piece of the American dream. There's a parking garage and some shops, including a small restaurant where my burger joint used to be. My burger joint stood where the entrance to the parking garage is today. To me, it was the entrance to a new life. That's where I got started, and where I learned the lessons that set me on the road to success. One day, as I walked past the alley behind my burger joint, something caught my eye. I knew there was a homeless guy who pretty much lived in the alley with his few belongings. He was a white guy, probably in his 40s, but to a teenager like me, he seemed much older. I don't think I'd ever seen his face clearly, though. He was a faceless, nameless guy, like so many other homeless individuals in Los Angeles. And I never gave him a second thought until that day. The day that changed my life. All of a sudden, the owner of the clothing store next to my burger joint ran up to the homeless guy and pepper sprayed him in the face. He just maced him without any warning. Of course, the homeless guy went crazy from the pain. Shocked and confused, he started screaming. His face and his eyes were red and burning, and tears were rolling down his face. I was just a kid, but I knew this wasn't right. I couldn't believe what I'd just seen, and it stopped me in my tracks. I was horrified. Without thinking, I went up to the store owner and asked, "What the hell did you do? Why did you do that? How could you do such a thing?" The store owner didn't say a word and just looked at me in a weird way before skulking back to his shop like nothing had happened. This all happened in the space of a few moments, and the air was still thick with the spicy sharpness of the pepper spray. As the homeless guy sat on the ground rubbing his eyes and trying to breathe, I grabbed the hose I kept at the back of my restaurant. My own eyes had started to water, and I could feel the irritation in my nose and throat. But I knelt down and washed the man's face and rinsed out his eyes until the worst of his suffering had stopped. I don't really know where I found the strength or the courage to stand up to the store owner, but all these years later, I can look back on that day and realize my actions sprang from a feeling somewhere deep within me, from something innate that I had learned about right and wrong and justice.